The opinions expressed are those of the show's host, guests, and callers, and not those of WSTU. It's time for Let's Get Digital Treasure Coast with digital marketing experts Megan Nager and Corey Turner. Let's Get Digital Friday, marketing for the modern age. And now, here are your hosts.
Hello, my name is Megan Nager.
And I am Corey Turner.
And we are the hosts of Let's Get Digital. And we are very excited. This is our first show on the Heritage Station. So thank you for joining us. We are thrilled to be here.
Great to be here.
Great to be here. So basically, I think we should start by talking about, I guess we're going to give a little background about ourselves, why we're doing this, who we are, and how we can help you blow up your business, because that's what we specialize in. We specialize in high quality digital content and basically digital marketing. So we help brands and businesses really blow up online and get as many eyes on their content and businesses as possible.
Now that everybody is living in a digital age, your storefront really is your website and your social media page and everything like that. So we're here to bring your brand, your company, your store into the digital age, into 2022, because you know what? That's where everybody is now.
Exactly. And I think, we moved from Los Angeles. We're going to give you a little bit of our background so you get to know us and know why we do what we do. So we moved from Los Angeles. We met in Los Angeles about 10 years ago. No, we lived there for 10 years. Corey and I met in 2018?
Seems like 100 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me feel old. But yeah, we met like 2018, and we both worked in entertainment. He's a cinematographer. I'm an actor, writer, producer. And long story short, we met on set and we ended up getting together and we formed a production company. We started producing mini series. A few of our series are on Amazon Prime. We started creating content for different creators, influencers, celebrities, because they all in Hollywood, you are the brand. So we started creating unique content for individuals, and that turned into us making content for brands and businesses. So we basically infused our filmmaking skills into our marketing skills, and that's what we specialize in.
A little thing about Los Angeles and filmmaking. There is a select few, very small amount of people who make the millions of dollars that you hear about, and then there's a lot of people who are doing it pro bono, doing it for fun, doing it trying to get their get ready for the business. And there's a lot of schemesters out there that they want to take your footage and not pay you for it. So what we decided was moving into businesses and brands. It was the way to go, because we took our knowledge of filmmaking, we took our knowledge of making things look good, professional, creative, and turning it on its back and doing that for businesses instead of actors and producers.
Exactly. And so I think what we specialize in is our very high quality digital content, because we noticed that a lot of marketing companies were kind of just outsourcing their work, and we'd get stuff back, like whether it was blog posts, videos, pictures, and they were really kind of garbage. And so we're like, you know what, we got to step up the game. So we're going to create really high quality content for our clients, and that's kind of what sets us apart. But basically, we've been hopping around. We were in Charlotte for the past year, North Carolina, so we did marketing there, and we know that marketing is different depending on what area you're living in. People in Los Angeles are going to want something very different than people in Stewart or Martin County. So we're excited to be here and get to know you guys and find your marketing needs.
Absolutely. Yeah. And a little bit, I guess, just not to breeze over it, but when we were in Charlotte, North Carolina, it was very business heavy. There's a lot of banks there, a lot of professional. I did a lot of work for the local hospitals, the banks. Amazon was one. And so there was a lot of business going through there, not a lot of creativity. So it really changed up what we were doing in LA, doing, music videos and narrative TV shows, going straight to a commercial about a bank or a hospital or something like that. So yeah, it's definitely changed in our career path, and we're really excited about it. We've been doing it for in the business side for a few years now, and now that we're here in Florida by the beach, we're really excited to start getting moving with all these companies out here.
Absolutely. So just I guess for like a more formal description of what we do is we are a full service digital marketing agency and production house that specializes in high quality videos like we've been saying. So whether you want a series made for a TV show, we could do that. We could grow your business, we could make graphics for you. We basically do it all. And some of the specific services we offer that are very probably like some of the first things you want to do when you get started putting your business online is number one is obviously you have to have a website. We've noticed that since we've been here, and there's no hate, but some businesses that we've
A lot.
a lot of
A
businesses
lot
that
of
we've been
businesses,
we've been
yeah.
working with don't have websites.
Yeah.
So some of them will have just Facebook pages, which is fine to an extent.
It's not fun.
Okay. It's absolutely not. You really should have a website. I guarantee if you just have a Facebook page, if you just added a website, your
Your traffic,
your traffic,
your
your
engagement, your
engagement,
conversions will
your
skyrocket.
pocketbook will expand.
Yes.
So I would suggest that. And we create websites very inexpensively. If you don't go with us, you could even build websites on your own. There are platforms like Wix or Squarespace that are really, really simple. They're really just drag and drop. Obviously not everyone wants to do that. And I get it. It's not, if you don't know what you're doing, you just don't want to do it. So we could handle that for you. But having a website is really crucial, especially it's like the second half of 2022. So you got to have a website. You got to have a website. You got to have a Facebook page. You got to have an Instagram. Even if you're not posting every day, online traffic is so important right now. And just posting a video, even if it's like a 15-second to 30-second little video about your business or what it does, posting that on your website, on your Facebook, on your Instagram will greatly increase your traffic because video is where it's at right now. So even if you're just posting pictures, you could still level up by starting to take videos. And again, if you don't know what you're doing, we get it. We got you covered. We could help with that. So
It really is. It really is obvious when a website has a bunch of stock photos on it, or because everybody uses the same photos, like the same guy shaking hands. It
Yeah.
really is beneficial to get some photos taken of your business, of you, so you don't look like a scam website. So
we're gonna get to. So Corey and I, another reason we got into this is because we noticed that there's a lot of shady marketers out there. The guys are like, buy my ebook, swipe up, like download my affiliate program and get
they're all over.
They're just like,
Instagram and
these
TikTok.
bro marketers. They're all over social media. If you haven't seen them, then honestly, you're lucky. But there's a lot of them out there. And we just noticed these were not necessarily scams, but they're people who are kind of crappy marketers. And there's a lot of them out there and they aren't helping you grow. And they're kind of just passing business off and outsourcing it. And then you end up with crappy stock photos on your website or, that a million other websites will also have. So we wanted to do the opposite of that. And so a few other services we offer, we do website building and management because once you build a website, you can't just let it sit. You got to manage it. You got to keep it updated every time you go in and click around, add another picture, delete something. That is like Google loves that. And so it's actually going to bring your website higher and higher up on Google, which you want.
Also, you just got to keep an eye on it because a lot of websites that we built, if you let them just run, this happens a lot on WordPress websites where there's a lot of plugins, but if you just let them run and you don't maintain them, one of the plugins will go out of date and literally crash the site. And so if you're not keeping an eye, like if we have former clients and we're not looking at their website anymore, they'll call us months down the road and then like, hey, the website doesn't work anymore. And it's just a simple plugin that exploded basically or came out of date and it just doesn't work anymore, which will shut down the whole website. So it is something that you need to keep an eye on. Make sure that your website doesn't just break in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you can't just make a website exactly and forget about it. So you really do, whether it's us or not, you just need to, or yourself even, just go in and monitor it at least, like I'd say once a week at least. So we do that. We do search engine optimization, which is SEO is what people call it, and it basically just gets your website, your brand, your business as high up on Google as possible. So we go in, and this is all in the back end. This is where it gets more complicated, where you probably don't want to do this yourself. We go in and we put in different. Corey's actually kind of the SEO expert, but
Yeah.
we make sure your website is seen by as many people as possible.
Right. There's two kinds of SEO. So there's technical SEO, which is like the back end, your meta tags, basically what a computer sees or an algorithm sees when they're looking at your website. Not really for the person. It's just basically like keywords, a word behind a picture that no one will see. So that's technical SEO, and that's just making sure that the bots in Google, when they're crawling your website, that they see what they want to see, and that will in turn rank you higher. And then there's creative SEO. Creative SEO is more for human eyes, and that's writing blog posts or content on your website and having the specific ideas and keywords that you want to be searched in Google by human and then read. So that's, like I said, content writing and making sure that you have good pictures, good engaging assets on your website that will because when every visitor goes to your website, they're timed. And so if a visitor stays there for longer, that's good in the eyes of Google, and that will rank you higher. So the two kinds of SEO, there's technical and creative, just so you know that.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, Corey's SEO expert. I don't have the patience for that. I just like doing creative stuff. So
especially the technical side, because you're literally writing things for a computer.
Yeah,
So,
like you're writing in
where's the
code.
joy
Nobody
in
wants
that?
to deal with that. Like Corey can deal with that for you. So hit us up. But
Fun stuff.
we do, and also if you have no idea what we're talking about, I understand, because digital marketing, especially if you're used to just more traditional marketing, especially if you're older. I know, like, even we have some older clients who just didn't, which is totally, I mean, it makes sense. They just didn't grow up with this stuff. This wasn't how they got into when they got into their business. This isn't how they marketed. They've had to completely just transition to this new online thing. And I think people can get really, really overwhelmed, which is totally normal. So that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it can be a lot. When we first got into it, I mean, the thing that we are very confident in our skills, because we basically experimented on ourselves. Currently still am an actor. So I was my own experiment. I had to build up my own brand and my business as an actor, writer, producer. So I had to create content for myself. I had to advertise for myself. I had to build a website for myself. So I really know what works and doesn't work, because I've tried it all, have failed a lot, and I found out what works.
Absolutely. And SEO may seem kind of silly or just something to think about down the road. Oh, I have my website, who cares if Google finds it or not? But really, it is so, so important. And I've seen so many of our clients just explode when you just do some minor tweaks and you start adding good content and you start doing the technical SEO, because there's so many millions of people searching on Google every second, and they're looking for something so specific that if you tailor your website to them, you'll see it explode. And that's what I'm saying. Like, SEO is super important.
Totally, because you can build a website and put it online, but if no one's seeing it, then what's the point?
What's the point?
Exactly. So I didn't know that either for years, to be honest. I was like, I don't need that. And then you do SEO. We always say give it like 3 months, and you're like, oh my God, I'm the first one. You type in acting, I come up at the very top of Google, which is crazy. Or you type in, say you make chairs, type in chair maker, Martin County, like you will be the first one all over Google. So in turn, making you more money. A few other services we offer, that these are basically the ones we suggest doing in the beginning. So we got the website up, we got SEO. We always suggest making a Facebook and Instagram page, which we've noticed a lot of people do have Facebook pages here. So that's good. But you got to post on them. You got to keep them active, engaged. You could even do ads on Facebook pages. You could boost posts, obviously, all of which we can help with. But it's important to not just have one. You got to stay active on it.
Totally. It's like the SEO thing, where SEO, you're appeasing the Google gods, the Instagram or Facebook, you're appeasing the Facebook algorithm gods. And so they like engagement. They like people to be on your page, or basically just they want to be on their platform longer. So if that means on your page longer, then fantastic. And if you have great content, that algorithm will serve it to more people, especially if it's in like a local business or something like that, and there's not a lot of competition. Say you make the best donuts in Stewart, then and you have an awesome video about donuts in Stewart, and people are Google, looking up donuts in Stewart, you're going to constantly be sent to those people and just be opened up to thousands and thousands of more eyes than you would if you hadn't posted that picture or something like that, or you just had a storefront.
Totally. So once you got the social media set up, you do gotta keep it active. And also, depending on what your business is, there's so many different social media platforms out there, which people get really overwhelmed with. I get it. I do too. I'd say pick 3 and stick to them. If you can't pick 3, pick 2. If you can't pick 2, pick 1. But you got to stay active on them. If you are I think everyone should have a LinkedIn, especially if you're a business owner. You don't need to post as often as LinkedIn, but just being on it. And, I've met so many people on LinkedIn and have connected with them that have helped me and our business grow. So LinkedIn's always good just to have. And then Facebook and Instagram, you should always connect the two. And so if you post on Instagram, it makes it easy and you can automatically post to Facebook.
And this is way more fun, in my opinion, because unlike the SEO, the technical SEO side, this is for people. You're making content for people, so you're writing a short amount of words, or you're doing a picture. Or right now, what's really hitting is vertical video, and you can have fun with it. Don't make it a chore, make it fun. Make a video, or hire like a great production company to shoot a couple videos for you. You can shoot 5 in one day and then release those once a week or something like that. This is a lot more fun in my eyes than writing for bots.
Yeah, of course. The thing with content is we're going to do a whole episode on this, but content is king right now.
Or forever.
Forever. Really, like, not only is it fun to make, I know people can be intimidated by like sitting in front of a camera and speaking. You don't even have to show your face if you don't want to. You can sit and put some photos over what you're saying. You can put words over what you're like. You don't need to show your face, but just making content as often as possible about your business and what you have to offer and putting that on your social media will drastically increase your business. I promise you.
And it used to be a huge barrier to entry, back not even that long ago. You had to buy a film camera to make it look good, buy money or spend money on film, on lighting, and everything like that. But really, with everybody's phone, you can shoot a 4K video, vertical or horizontal, and have a really quality thing with good audio. So it is getting easier and easier as time goes on and technology develops. But there still is that level of professionalism that is going to help your videos, using a better camera than just your phone, or using like a microphone and lighting and everything like that. It's going to really help you out. But you don't need all that stuff if you're just launching your business and you want to get some photos and some videos up on your Facebook page.
Totally. So after we got the social media, you got to make sure that you have your business up on Google. And Corey is our expert Google business person. Is it called Google My Business?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, if you just if you Google My Business, it'll show up. And this is the back end of, and it's pretty simple. This is the back end of how when someone Googles your business or looks up your business, this is what they see. This is where you put your hours, your website, some pictures, and it's super important for getting ranked high on Google, especially for local SEO. So, it's important, period, but especially for local, because you put your address in there and that allows you to be on Google Maps or Apple Maps or Waze or any of those things, which all integrate with each other. Because I don't know if you know this, but Google owns Waze. So it's the same, system looking it up. Yeah. And so once you put your address up on Google My Business, this is how it goes to Google Maps, etc. But then also it goes throughout Google. So if someone, again, I'll go back to my donuts and Stewart example. If someone just looks up Google donuts and Stewart, Google My Business will really help you be put to the top in that search, because you're on a map. You have your hours in there. You're a legitimate company, and to set it up, it's not very difficult. You just create your account. You put in some basic information, where you are, your name, your hours, etc. And that'll get you a basic profile. There's some things you can do, just like everything, where you can optimize it. And so the more optimized, the higher you rank. So you can add pictures, you can get reviews. Reviews are super important. You can also, they just launched post. So you can add a post, just like an Instagram or Facebook post, but they're on Google My Business. So those really help. Basically, just like everything else, you're playing the game that Google wants you to play. So if you make, you do what they just created and you're using their new software, the new piece, and making that post, they're going to rank you higher. So what I've seen for a couple of our clients is that they are a newer company. They, only have a few reviews, but because we've made a few posts for them, boom, they're at the top of the list, and they're ranking over the same business that has hundreds of reviews and has been up for 10 years. But because you're playing the Google game, they, benefit from it.
Yes. And so also you might be asking yourself, like, why do I care about any of this? And what are you guys talking about? That's okay. I was just thinking about when you were talking, Corey, like, why is this so important to do, especially in Martin County, is because I think that Martin County is going to explode in terms of population. And by I think, I mean, I know there have been several uh, predictions made about the population growth, just following patterns in this area. I think a lot of people, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. I'm from Fort Lauderdale. And so I watched this happen in Fort Lauderdale. People from Miami started to migrate north, and now Fort Lauderdale is off the chain. It is swamped. I hadn't been there in like 8 years, and I went back about a year ago, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a different city. It was insane to me. And so I think all of that traffic and population are slowly moving up here. I know West Palm and then Jupiter is getting more and more populated. And so I think Martin County is next. And I think within the next 5 years, there's going to be insane population growth. And if you can get your business up and running now and out there, you will be the premier chairmaker, whatever you do in Martin County. And when the population has exploded, your business is also going to explode. So I think it's really important if you do want to grow, if you're okay with how you are now, that's fine, chill. But if you want to grow and take over your industry in a soon to be booming city, I think it's a great opportunity.
Also, time is very important to Google and SEO, because when the longer you're on there, the better. So if you can get there ahead of all the competition, that's really going to benefit you. All right.
Oh, okay. I can talk, right?
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back.
We are back.
We are back with Let's Get Digital. We should make a little jingle.
We should.
We were
should
at the Chamber of Commerce meeting, which we joined. Great.
Stewart Martin County Chamber.
That's what I meant. What did I say?
Chamber of Commerce. You got it.
Yeah. Oh, Chamber of Commerce. Okay. Yeah. So I need like an IV of coffee. Anyone else? Okay. So the Chamber of Commerce, and somebody had this. Was it a one of the garage companies? had
Oh,
this,
yeah,
they
yeah.
had a really cool jingle. So I think we got to do that because it was fun.
Yeah, you always remember a jingle. We need more rhyming things. What rhymes with wake and make media?
Wake and bake media.
Yeah,
We're not going to do that.
that's not.
Okay. All right.
We'll keep thinking about it.
Okay. That's not what our company is called. It's Wake and Make Media. Although people do confuse it with Wake and Bake Media, and
Consistently, yes,
it's not
yes.
that.
Wake and I don't know what happens if you go to wakeandbakemedia.com.
I know what happens.
But if you go
You
to
get baked.
wakeandmakemedia.com, you will find out more about us.
Wakeandbakemedia.com is a lot more fun than Wake
Okay,
and
maybe
Make.
we should buy that domain.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't say that either because Wake and Make is our company.
All right.
Wake and Make Media is the coolest company out there. You know what I mean? Okay, so before we took a quick break, we were talking about the services we offer, and I don't want to get too deep into the trenches of each little thing because it's probably monotonous. You might not know what we're talking about because some of it's technical, but we just wanted to give you an overview of the most important services that we do offer. So we've talked about having a website, you got to have. We talked about SEO, search engine optimization, ranking your website as high as possible on Google, which is pretty technical and you probably don't want to deal with it. You talked about social media, how important Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn is. Also, we'll do an episode where we literally talk about social media platforms individually because that's kind of my expertise. But there's also Twitter, there's also YouTube, there's also TikTok, which has been really big. I know people have their issues with TikTok, totally understand. But for instance, it's like blown up a lot. Like it's done very well for us. I have a TikTok that I basically have like a Spotify podcast based off of because I started making TikTok videos on pop culture conspiracies and that got me a Spotify deal. So
check it out, Popspiracy on Spotify.
Oh yeah, Popspiracy, by the way, not to plug myself, but called Popspiracy if you like pop culture conspiracy theories or just conspiracy theories. We talk about a lot of interesting ones. But my point is that just creating 30 to 60 second, very crappy videos on my iPhone starting in 2020 during COVID, when I was at home by myself, just making a video a day, that literally landed me a contract with Spotify. So that's been amazing for our business. And that is an example of how powerful creating content for your brand or business can be because you have no idea where it could take you. Say you're a dentist and also if you're a business owner, you're like, look, I'm not a creative. I don't want to go online and make videos. That's fine. I cannot tell you the amount of dentists, lawyers, marketers, literally everything, fishermen, furniture makers are on TikTok making dog trainers, veterinarians, plastic surgeons that are on TikTok, that are on Instagram, that are on YouTube, and they're making either informative or entertaining videos. Like there are literally plastic surgeons who will make dancing videos on TikTok and they have millions of followers just because who doesn't want to see a plastic surgeon kind of dance around an office? It's funny, but they're these little quick 30-second videos and these people get thousands, if not millions of followers and their businesses skyrocket. So
yeah, we're gonna do a whole episode on social media.
Yeah, we'll do. Okay.
But just so we go over, it's so important right now, and we'll go over this more in depth in our episode. But what you want to do is play their game. If they're just launching a new feature, so like YouTube forever was just regular horizontal video that you're used to watching on a television or your laptop, and they just launched something called Shorts, which is vertical, which is them competing with TikTok and Instagram Reels. And now the reach is insane. So if you make literally identical videos on the horizontal version versus the vertical version is going to get more views absolutely 100% of the time because that's their new feature.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go way more in depth.
Yeah, we'll do that. So, okay, so we got social media covered. We got Google My Business covered, which is basically just getting our business on Google so people can find it. This is super important for Martin County business owners, brand owners, etc. Because you have to be found on Google. Even if you work from home, that's okay. You just need to be established as a legitimate business. And I promise you, if you just do that, if you go to Google My Business, type that into Google, it'll come up. Get yourself on there. If you don't know how, you have any issues, we can help you.
A quick little tip. If you do work out of your home, You can pay $10 a month and have a virtual address that will be fine for Google My Business. So you can, you don't want to put a house because that address is going to show a picture of the house. But you can easily just get a virtual address.
That's smart. We've done that in the past.
Mhm.
We have clients who do it. It's totally normal. It's very in right now to be working from home. I'd say the majority of people we know are working from home. So that's an easy way to create a business location and get your business up online. Also, I know you probably don't want people showing up at your house. So that is
Yeah.
also another good reason.
Yeah, your hours said you're open right now, but this is the front door to a house. What do I
I've
do?
noticed that I had on my Facebook page, um, I think I had like my precise location in LA.
That's
And
scary.
yeah, I had it was open 24 hours and I didn't realize I had my phone number on there. So I would get all these weird calls at all hours of the night. And it was people from different parts of the world who were just calling. I didn't realize all my stuff was up there. So be careful what you put on there. You don't want people having your personal cell phone, or maybe you do, but that and your home address, just be careful. So after you have that, another thing that is always good to do is email marketing. Again, we're not going to get too deep into this, but Corey, I'll let you want to talk
Oh
about email
yeah,
marketing?
this is an absolute gold mine. Email marketing is basically taking the lowest hanging fruit and just grabbing it and cashing it in. Especially if you're in a business that sells something, um, like a tangible item, like a product. If you do e-commerce, this is also absolutely huge. You're pretty much your biggest asset for e-commerce is your email list, and it's all mostly driven by your customers who you know voluntarily joined a list because you gave them like a 10% off. It's called a lead magnet. So you gave them a certain percent off your products, or maybe an ebook, or just something that would allow benefit the customer enough to give you their email address. And then you collect this on a list. You can use, there's various softwares like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, where you just hold that list and then you can send out emails to them. So you can send out these beautiful, elaborate marketing emails with a bunch of pictures and videos, or you can just do a plain text, white background with an Arial black font that just says, "Hey," and it's just something personalized to the customer. And some people prefer that over the extravagant marketing emails. But it is very important to get an email list going, because once you get that name, that's free. You can email them as much as you want, and I'm telling you, there's fantastic open rates that if you can get into the 15 to 20% open rate, that's just cash in the bank. And you could send out sales, you can send out new products, just you're right to their inbox with that email list. And I don't want to go too deep into it, but also you can set up automations where you're not even doing anything. You do it once, you set it and forget it. And those emails are sending out thousands of emails a day, and those are going straight to your customer and generating revenue. And you haven't even thought about it for months. I mean, just like the website, make sure you check it out and your pictures aren't out of date and your sales aren't out of date, but that is such a low hanging fruit, optimal way to get your customers excited, stay in front of their mind, and keep making revenue.
Totally. Yeah. Email marketing is great. And also, it allows you to constantly reach out to the list of people and clients, customers that you've collected over the years. So, if you don't know how to collect or start making a list, we are great at that. You could always offer a free service, a giveaway, a product. And in order to get that, those people have to give you their email address. And that's how you get their email addresses. And then what we do is we go in and we are constantly communicating with those people, those emails that you've gotten. So they are up to date on everything you're doing. You can offer them sales, but it's just a good way to keep customers that you already have, get more sales from them, and then also get more customers. So, email marketing, we got blog posting. I have written for years. I wrote for my college newspaper. I've written for I worked for PR companies in Los Angeles, so I've written for so many different very large companies, very small companies. I've written about people, basically no matter what type of company it is. For instance, one of our clients now is a medical company. So once a week we go in and I will write a blog post that will go on their website, and then we email it out to all of their clients about um, something that is pertains to their industry. So for instance, we were talking about workplace safety with one of our clients. So I would write a blog post about how the importance of maintaining workplace safety, making sure all of your employees are as safe as possible, especially in a physically demanding job. So um, the blog posts, one, are really great for Google because every time you post, your stuff is going to get higher and higher on Google. And two, it's really great for search engine optimization. So if you're talking about safety and your company provides for instance, like a safety tool for employees, then it's a great way to advertise to people who are looking for that. So you're constantly putting out new content on the written side, which are the blogs. And typically we just do that on websites. So your blog will be on the website you already have. It's pretty simple, and you just want to stay up to date with as much information about your industry as possible.
And another thing about blog posts, a couple things, is that it's a similar dance to SEO, where you want to write it both for a computer and you want to write it for a human. So what we've noticed is that robots read specifically, so you can have those keywords over and over and over again. And the more you have in that one blog post, the higher it'll rank for someone who's looking for that specific subject. What people do is skim. So you want to write it where it's, digestible, small paragraphs with great headers, that it's just bullet points almost, where you're just like, a person's just going to read the header and then the first sentence and like, oh, okay, yeah, oh, this is very interesting. I'll keep reading. So it's just a dance. You're playing, you're writing for a computer and you're writing for a person at the same time. So after the thousands of blog posts that Megan has written, she's really developed an act for, making that content digestible for people, but also highly keyword searchable for the computers, the SEO thing.
Absolutely.
Another quick thing about blog posts is that it's content. So if you're looking for ideas to email, you just want to stay front of mind. You're like, I haven't sent out an email this week to my customer base, but I do have a blog post. Then just send out a small blurb of that blog post, and then at the bottom of the email say, link to the full page on your website, and that's like, read the full article here. Not only do you stay in front of your mind of your customer, you give them valuable information, so you develop loyalty with that customer, but you're also getting some traffic to your website once they click the bottom to read the article. So it's really great for multiple reasons to have blog posts or just have good content on your website.
Totally. And important to just keep posting them. We've had a lot of clients who they'll kind of be on and off with the blog post. Like they'll want it 1 month, they'll not want it the next, or they'll do it for 6 months and then just stop completely for like a year. And we always notice that their engagement and their revenue decreases because
instantly.
yeah, like literally instantly. I'd say for sure within a month, because you're just dramatically decreasing the amount of traffic to your site. And we know that you don't want to sit there and pay for blog posts for years on end, especially if you're a smaller company or just getting started. So even if you could do it yourself, go in, write even 500 words if you can, just to keep your website up to date, relevant information about your industry. And in terms of blog posts, another thing we do offer is publicity. Which is not something you need to do right away. You can always send out a press release if you want to, announce that you are starting a business. You could send out a press release if you want to announce a big event you're hosting or a charity you're putting on. But basically just sending out an announcement like, hey, I'm here. And those are typically local and would go, for instance, to all of Martin County saying, hey, I'm Megan and I just started a swimsuit company. And this is what my swimsuits offer. Here's where you can find me. Here's how you can buy them, etc. So that is what a press release is. We often will suggest clients do that for a new venture undertaking if they're just getting started with their business and want the word out there. And then down the road, you could always, if your company is more, especially if it's more of like a national business, we have clients all over the country, so this would pertain to us, for instance, but uh getting about your business yourself on bigger publications. So we've gotten clients on everything from Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc., LA Weekly, bigger publications, and these do get really, really expensive. So if you are a bigger company, if you have a bigger budget, this is something you can do down the road that is massively helpful. It's just not something we recommend for everyone, because these publications, to get your business brand or yourself in these, it costs a lot of money. So like we're talking up to even $10,000, for instance, to like get seen in Forbes. So again, this is not for everyone, but it is something that if you do have the budget, you can absolutely do. Corey and I have worked with bigger companies like Corey's worked with Ciroc, Miss Universe, Professional Bull Riding. So companies like that really have those budgets, of course you can do that. If you're a small business, we'd recommend, hey, let's send out a pretty inexpensive press release or get you on some local publications, and that will get you seen just as much as a huge corporation that has this massive budget to get in Forbes or Bloomberg. And if you're not a national business, that's not always necessary. It just is giving you more credibility and telling people like, hey, oh, this is a legitimate business. They're doing big things.
Also, be very wary of the scams. There are a lot of scams. Megan knows all about this, but there are some PR scams. You might see it on a Facebook ad, get you in NBC, ABC, Fox, for only $100. We've tested those out just because we wanted to see how this is possible. So what they do is they put you on a local channel in, middle of nowhere, Idaho, Fox News Network, that is going to get deleted in 4 days.
Yep.
So yeah, you're right. You were on Fox, but not anyone saw, and it's deleted. So don't put that on your website, because that link's going to be broken in a couple hours.
Yeah, we've gone through this with exactly like we said. And again, this is why we are confident about what we're doing, is because I've experimented on myself. So I've done everything wrong possible. We've tried these companies because we wanted to see what the deal was, like Corey said. And there are so many out there, especially with publicity. And we've seen like a lot of our clients will come to us and be like, I want to be on Forbes, but I really only have a $500 budget. I've just gotten to the point where you have to say, there's no way that's possible.
Yeah, I want a Lamborghini, but I have $1,000 to spend,
Exactly. It's like that. So if you don't jump to just get like a cheap publicity option because it's there, because even if it's $250, which if something's that inexpensive, that should be, the red light should go off, because typically when we're talking about publicity, if it's on a national level, it's going to be expensive. It's going to be really expensive. So be wary of those. And then, so not only are you losing, even if it's $250, you're then not even getting the service you paid for, because within, I'd say 3 months, absolute max, they're pulling all those articles down. So just be careful. We've had so many clients who have said, we don't want to pay for publicity, and they'll go off and do it on their own. And then they come to us and they're like, oh no, all our articles are deleted. I'm like, yeah, I told you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's happened with me. So I can tell you it's 100% true. And speaking of shady, I did want to get into, we're getting towards the end of our show, but I mentioned at the beginning that we got into this because there are a lot of shady marketers out there. And Corey talks about them in LA. We encounter them in Los Angeles all the time. These people who will go out and they'll be like, oh, you want to get famous? Because everyone in LA wants to be famous in some way. Not everyone, but especially in entertainment. So they'll be like, oh, hey, I'll get all your content on all these big magazines. I'll promote all your social media content. I'm going to write all these blog posts for you. I'm going to get your website up on Google. You pay them money and you really get nothing, or they run away with your money, or the quality that they're giving you is garbage. So
yeah, like you'll get a blog post that is clearly not written in English.
Yeah.
Maybe it was written in a different language and then Google translated, because it doesn't make any sense.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
And so we're going to give you guys a couple examples of the shady marketing you'll see, because I guarantee if you go and you're looking for hire a marketing company, you will at one point or another encounter these. And we're going to let you know so you know what to avoid. So we're talking about, like Corey just said, really poorly written, like 300-word articles that you could tell were written by a non-native English speaker. And the like, they just are horrible. And or they're writing these just to rank on Google, but they're taking into no consideration your reader or you. Basically doesn't make sense. A lot of companies will use bots to spam your customers on social media. So you hire a marketing company and you're like, hey, I want to really grow on social media. What they'll do to save money is they'll basically just send a bunch of bots, like robots, to your page and blow it up with fake followers, fake comments, fake likes, fake engagement. And
And the social media platforms do not like this.
yeah, one, you could get kicked off social
Yeah.
media. Two, you're not going to increase your business whatsoever. You're going to get nothing's going to happen from it, and you're going to have a bunch of fake engagement. Also, another thing that they'll do is they'll go on to LinkedIn and they'll friend people or local business owners and spam people on LinkedIn with a bunch of generic messages that I'm telling you people do not like. I get them all the time. They drive me crazy. This does not translate to sales. So it's doing a lot of these like big like push of content on these platforms in a really like cheap, easy way is kind of going to backfire on you.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be worse for your company or your brand than doing nothing at all.
exactly.
Yeah, because if you do nothing at all, at least you're still able to go on social media and you don't look like a phony, basically. So if you have, say, you have 10,000 followers now because you just paid for them, but you get 2 likes on every page, that's very clear and obvious that you paid for those followers. And when I see something like that, and I'm sure a lot of consumers think the same way, they just see this as like a fake account and they're going to get off it as quickly as possible because it seems like a scam is like brewing.
And this is very common. And again, in our social media episode, we'll touch on this, but this happens all the time. Again, it's happened to me. Even if doing like a giveaway on social media, this could happen because if you'll work with like a third party company, they'll send you all these fake followers. We've had to deal with that before. Another thing you'll encounter is if you go to hire a marketing company, a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, we'll get you an email list of potential clients you can email
Stay away.
who might be interested in your business." I'd say 99.9% of the way of the time to stay away. Would you say they ever work?
Yeah, they work really well at getting your email address marked as spam.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So if you want to immediately just like never have an email sent to an actual inbox, go ahead and get a list.
yeah, you'll hear all the time. Like, I guarantee if you go to meet with a marketing company, at some point it'll come up, do you want to buy an email list? No, you don't. Unless those people on that list that is this marketing company has gone out and personally been like, hey, are you interested in I don't know what's like a service? Are you interested in getting your hair done? Like, if that's what we're talking about. Unless they've literally gone and handpicked and personally know these people, I guarantee this list are just random people who have no idea what you're selling, don't care, don't want what you're selling, and you're going to just email them. And I know for me, if it gets past my spam and ends up in my email box, I don't want to read that. I'm going to delete it.
Absolutely. And you'll probably be angry that you somehow, had these emails from this company you never heard of before. And so you'll either unsubscribe immediately or just be mad, send it to
Yeah.
spam, and that's how your company's email address gets ruined and marked as spam, which is terrible. That's not good at all because any future leads you might have or anything you actually want to talk to, and you have a great idea or you have someone on your email list or something like that, if you start sending them emails and you're marked as spam, they're never going to see those emails. Most people don't check their spam folder. It's just going to go straight to this black hole of an inbox that no one's ever going to see. And, the quickest way to get marked as spam is by cold emailing thousands of people at the same time and, from a list. So there are some, I would say mostly B2B, so business to business companies that might benefit from a mail list, but I would say all B2C, business to consumer email lists, stay away.
Totally. So we are we are nearing the end of our show. I don't know why I can't say that. So just to go over some tips for brands and businesses to get started online. If you like got amped up by what we were talking about, you want to start you want to start. Again, we're going to be back every Friday at 9 a.m. to give you a bunch of tips and tricks. So this is not the last time you're going to hear this, but I wanted to throw a few out just to get you in the mood, get ready to start marketing your business and getting rich, right? I mean, if you want to get rich, but
Let's go.
who doesn't want to get, maybe you don't. But okay, so one, know your audience. I'm sure most of you do, but if you haven't thought about it in a while, go back and really get to know your audience. Maybe it's important to reevaluate this often. So, fine tune who exactly you're targeting. Then emphasize your value proposition, which is basically what's going to differentiate you from others in your industry. Say, for instance, us with marketing, our difference is that we are Hollywood filmmakers turned marketers. That makes us unique and different. So everyone has one. I guarantee you have something that makes you special, unique, and you and your business what it is. So emphasize that because no one is you, no one is your business. You are special and unique. Create a website if you haven't. Get on social media, promote your business if you haven't. Start blogging on your website. Make sure your business is on Google. Just type in Google My Business to set that up. It's very simple. If you can't figure it out, we got you covered. Invest in ads. We're going to cover that later on, but that is another great tactic if you really, really want to gain more business quickly. Use email marketing, which we talked about. Invest in local publicity, which we talked about. Invest in national publicity if you have those really large budgets. And finally, offer coupons or free products and services. We are going to be giving away so many free products and services because we're new to the area and we really do want to get to know everyone in Martin County and help you guys and figure out what specifically you need for your brands and businesses because every area is different. And we are very, very excited to be here and have already found so many amazing local brands and businesses that we want to help grow. And we're going to be covering a bunch of topics in the near future. We're going to talk about why content's king. We're going to talk about why sometimes you do have to pay to play. We're going to talk about content marketing tactics you can implement immediately by yourself, which we kind of talked about today. And basically stay tuned. We're here every Friday. Corey, I don't know if you have any final thoughts, but we're really excited to be here. We hope you learned something, even if it was a teeny little bit today. And we'll see you next Friday.
Absolutely. So happy to be here. And we can't wait for our future episodes. And until next time, you can find us at our website, which is wakeandmakemedia.com, or you can send me or Megan an email. Mine is Corey, Corey, at wakeandmakemedia.com, and Megan is just simply Megan at wakeandmakemedia.com. So until next time, guys, we'll see you next Friday.
Bye.